Okay. Hi, how you doing, Enrique? It's a
Very good,
pleasure.
Gabriel. Yeah,
Good.
it's my pleasure also. Thank you for inviting me to this interview.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for collaborating. It's an exciting idea. It's an exciting project, and I'm really glad that so many teachers are now willing to go through the interview process.
Yeah, and this is very important. I think that you job and what you're doing because it's time for the global consciousness to be aware of the paramount important of coming back to the heart, and this is the Drunvalo's work. That's what we are doing.
And that's the reason why I get excited about this project. I want to know from the people that have experienced it for a long time. I want to hear your experiences, all of you teachers. So before we start with the actual interview, why don't you tell us your full name?
My name is Enrique Guardiola.
Okay, cool. And Enrique, where do you live now?
I'm living in the area of Madrid in Spain, close to the mountains, in the north.
All right. And where are you from originally? Same city?
Yes, I was born in Madrid.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your educational background and your career background.
I studied as an engineering, agricultural engineering. I didn't know why, because I was not motivated for anything at all. And, okay, I went to study computers, but finally, you cannot choose. Life is leading you to some points, and I was led to study that engineering, and that I never really worked as an engineer after that.
Okay. And so what did you do? Did you continue with your studies or found a career in different positions?
Yeah, I wanted to study more careers, and then I was studying some computers engineering also, because I didn't feel like working. I liked my life as a student. I was really comfortable going to the university, meeting with friends, playing music, and traveling. I was doing kind of things. I was not thinking about any spiritual thing at all. I was, what young people is usually was like that. But after some years, I said, okay, let's go out of my parents' house. Let's get some money, and life brought me a job as in a consultancy group. We have to work in the R&D projects and write the projects and search for. We were in the middle between the universities, the companies, and the government that were funding the projects, and we were in the middle, the management project. Mm-hmm. And I was working 6 years.
Okay, cool. Great. And then finally, how long have you been teaching the ATIH?
I started in the 1st of May of 2014. And since then, I'm just doing this.
Full time?
Full time, yes.
Okay, that's great. I'm going to make a little pause now. Even though it's going to record, I will cut this out.
Yes.
Do you mind trying to put the black one on top of the white ones? Because it's coming in and out. So that it's just a little closer to your mouth. Can you do a test and speak into it like that?
Hola. Better?
A little better, yes. A little better. Okay, cool. Great. Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3 test. Can you give me
1, 2, 3
test? Okay,
1, 2,
perfect.
3. I can raise my voice.
You know what it is? It keeps coming. It tends to fade out, and I'm not sure why.
Yeah. It's because of the connection it's not, it's not a click. It's like it's soft.
Okay, cool. We'll have to adjust.
Okay.
So why don't you tell me about how you met Drunvalo and how you came to know of the awakening of the illuminated heart teachings?
Yes, I will. I will tell you a short story about this because if you can
It can go on
in
forever.
the whole story. But I was going to my job, and I took the subway, and I saw a man reading a book. It was Serpent of Light Beyond 2012. And by that time, I was interested in the Mayan prophecies and all that kind of things because we were close to 2012. And and to see somebody that was talking beyond and not talking about catastrophes or the end of the world that I didn't it didn't fit to my mind that we're about to finish. And then I start to I wrote his name Drunvalo Melchizedeck, and I didn't know about him. And when the first time I saw him in YouTube, when after coming back to from the office at home, I didn't switch on the TV. Just switch on YouTube and start to see Drunvalo, anything about Drunvalo. I just wanted to hear him. It was wonderful, the teachings about the history and the meditations and Egypt and everything. So I, I bought the books,
Flower of Life. Yeah.
Flower of Life, Flower of Life. And for me, they were like sacred books. And I had it in PDF, and when I read it, the first chapter said no, I had to have
the
this
book
on and study them slowly. And after that, I I I received the teachings of the Flower of Life. It was from Italy that came to Spain, the Canary Islands, and fly to the islands. And in 2011, I had this workshop, and I was practicing the meditation, uh, uh, this mind meditation of visualizing the Merkaba and doing this and activating the Merkaba through the mind. But after some months doing this, I was bored. Uh, I don't feel like doing this every day. 15 minutes every day. And I forgot about that, and maybe there was like 2 days without doing that. And for activating the Merkaba from the mind, you must be constant and you have to do it every day. Between 1 or 2 years straight, you have to do this meditation every day. If not, it's not working. So I quit and I forgot about this meditation because I was not. I had not it on my mind. So after 1 year and a half, I read about a new workshop, the Awakening of the Illuminated Heart, and when I saw it, I said I want to go to United States and have this workshop. So I applied for it, and I was chosen. Um, um, was a surprise for me because Drunvalo is to go for to have a place in a workshop is not easy because there's a lot of clients and a lot of people that want to go. And for me, it was a surprise that I was admitted. So I fly to Sedona and I was with him in 2012. And after having this workshop, for me, it was like the feeling of there is no more questions. After this, it's like this is a lot of people is searching, searching for the light, searching. And I was doing this search. I was searching for the end of the suffering of the human being. And when I first did this workshop, I knew this was the path for me. So I I had beautiful experiences there. Not in the meditations because I had in this workshop there is like 5 meditations during But I had no any experience at all. Because closed my eyes, there was all black. There was nothing because I was kind of nervous. I was trying to, my mind was still trying to control the things. But after in the country, Sedona, I was doing the meditation in some special points there, and there is a lot of people that travel to Sedona to go to this vortex and meditate there. And I was doing this, and I had a beautiful experience with, these landscapes, and you just have to open your eyes and see the country there, and you are in your heart because you are appreciating the harmony and the beauty, and that's love. And without any 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 effort at all, I was in my heart, but I didn't know. I was with my eyes open, and I was walking, and there was like white forest there, and suddenly a rabbit came to me, and that's strange because usually the rabbits run off you, not come to you, but this one was coming to me. So I had to stop because the next step I was kicking the rabbit. So it was so close, and it came close to me and then continued. It was like it couldn't
Fearless.
see me. Yeah, yeah. It was slowly smelling things, and then when the rabbit went, I continued walking, and suddenly I find three deers and two females and a small one, a bandit like
Wow.
this white points. And they were looking at me at the first, and then they allowed me to stay. So they continue eating. And so I sit down, I sat down like 5 meters away from them, just looking at them. I was amazed because they were not running with me.
Yeah.
But after some minutes, we heard something coming. It was like there was like, and then the deers were like that and ran away quickly. Then I raised my ears also like this and hoping to be human, that thing that were coming. And yes, they were too human. So,
Right.
after the workshop, I realized that I could hear my guides also. Because I was thinking, oh, Drunvalo is really is he's happy. He's lucky because he can hear the higher self, he can hear the guides. But after the workshop, I realized I could do it also. And then my guides told me, because I was a little bit like frustrated because I didn't have any experience during the meditation. But they told me, in that moment, you were in your heart.
With the
But
animals.
yeah, in that moment with the forest, with the animals, you were in your heart. Uh, and But you were with your eyes open. It was not in meditation, it was like a natural state. And that's what Drunvalo means with living in the heart. That it's not just for 20 minutes of meditations, but to live there and walk and act and work from that point. It's totally different experience. Nature doesn't scare of you. The animals don't run.
Wow, that's such an amazing experience.
Yeah,
It's really great. I was talking to Dana from Argentina yesterday, and she had been with Drunvalo since '96, and she's been teaching in South America. And she was telling me, it's important that you do all the meditations, but it's fundamental that you take it into your daily life, that you live it. And she was sharing with me how she found her house, the house she lived in with a swimming pool, lots of room for the kids and for people. And it was through this process of bringing her awareness into her heart while while in everyday activities. And it was fascinating how she was describing that. And thank you for sharing these experiences. These are very, very valuable. They bring a lot of direct personal connection to everyday's life experience.
And finishing with the question that you asked me, it was Dana, precisely Dana here, that came to Spain in October 2012. And my experience in Sedona were so beautiful that to my girlfriend, it's like the birthday present. It was it's like a bonus for the next. If there is someone coming to Spain to teach this workshop, you will, I will pay for you to go. And it was Dana that was coming over that year, 2012. And I was not about to repeat the workshop, but there was a talk the day before the workshop was starting in Valencia, the city of Valencia, Spain. And I was going with my girlfriend to Valencia. I was going to be there to be in the beach and to stay there in Valencia, but I was not going to go to the workshop. But in this day before, Dana was explaining about the workshop to people, just people to know about this and to sign in. And when I, we were late for this conference, and I thought, okay, I don't want to go in and interrupt the speech. I think it's better to go to the hotel. But my guides told me it's not the same if you choose now to go to the hotel or to go to the speech. Feel it and decide it, because it is, it's not like you go to the restaurant and you choose what you want to eat. There is some points in the life that they are important. And, guides were telling me, feel it. They didn't tell me what to do. They told me this is important, feel it. And I use my left part of the brain. I said, okay, if my guides are telling me this, it's maybe because it's important to go there. So I choose to go there. In that moment, when I wake up to speak. And when I got there, Dana saw me and told me, why are you here? And I told, I'm not going to have the workshop, but my girlfriend, yes, but I'm coming here to Valencia to be there the rest of the day. And in that moment, her guides told her to invite me. And she did it. She told me, you are invited to the workshop because you have been with Drunvalo, because she could see this activation of the beings, that I had. And she told me, oh, you've been with Drunvalo some months, you are invited, you can come to my workshop. So the first day, her guides told her to tell me about this opportunity, because the Drunvalo school had an open call for teaching for new teachers. That call started in June, and it was ending like 5 or 6 days after the end of this workshop in October. And when Dana told me, all this skin like this, this
goosebumps.
Yes, all around my body. You don't have to think. It's like, yes, of course, I will. And you have to have this workshop, this ATIH workshop with 2 different masters, and you have you have to be you have to receive the Flower of Life workshop also in order to apply for this call. So I had the Flower of Life workshop before, and I was taking this awakening of the illuminated heart with 2 different teachers, with Drunvalo and now with Dana. So I could.
You had everything.
I had everything. It's not so easy to have this in 2012, because the first time Drunvalo started to teach this workshop, it was in 2011. So it was not so easy to accomplish all these requirements, but I did. I went to Mexico to be with Drunvalo 11 days, teaching every day.
And that's it.
To all the teachers. And then from that, I had to be in different workshops with different teachers, like a practice. Some moment like practice, I have to be like in 3 or 4 workshops, I don't remember now. And I was in London with Irene Vidlia. I was with Hida Housen also, and yeah, with Anna also. And from 2014, every month I give 1, sometimes 2 workshops, and I'm honored for this, because it's like Drunvalo told us in Sedona that from the time you live in your heart, the life will become beyond your wilder dreamings. I can assure that this is true. I had some experiences that they're amazing. They're amazing. It's like when I don't know if you want to ask me another thing. I can
Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
Well, one of the questions, let's see, maybe what you want to talk about is similar to what I'm going to ask you. One of the questions was like, tell me about your personal experience of the Merkaba and your personal experience of going into the heart in your daily life, in everyday life. Yeah.
Okay. About the Merkaba, I don't have a lot of experiences. It's like a vehicle that you active. It's an energy that is active. But I have some experiences that I can share with you. One time there was a people that were sending me an energy that were on purpose. I mean, from her eyes to my body. When that energy came to the edge of my alpha sphere, or the Leonardo sphere around my body, that the alpha sphere activated like a shield, and that energy couldn't come in to my body, but like do like this and come out surrounding the alpha sphere. That was like a protection, so that energy couldn't come in. But
you saw that happening. You could see it.
Yeah. I could feel like my skin, the edge of the Leonardo sphere, because I had some programs, and I have some programs in my Merkaba field. Is let God to protect me. That is like feminine programming. So it's not a specific order, but this is this God, this higher consciousness that is life itself. I allow this God to do whatever He wants, and it's necessary for me.
So tell me a little bit more about that. How does the programming work? I know you teach it during the course, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, whenever you have your Merkaba field active, you can communicate with this energy. It's a part of your brain. It's an energy that is connected to your brain. So it's like these advanced spaceships that they don't have buttons or anything. They're just, you can sit down in these chairs, and then you can manage the space with your mind. And the Merkaba is the same. And just think of what you want, and the Merkaba, if you really think, if you think that's possible, 100%, your Merkaba will do it. If you don't think that's 100% possible, it won't do it. You must really.
So it's about intention and belief.
Yes, exactly. It's like when you want to move your arms, you just do it. It's the same thing, exactly. You just try, and you have it. But the Merkaba cannot do anything that goes beyond your beliefs.
Okay, so
we are really sit down in the throne of the power, and we are powerful. If we decide this is not possible, then we will experience it's not possible.
Yeah, it's like everything else in life. There's a set of belief systems that we are programmed from society, family, so on and so forth, to keep us limited. That this is this principle is everywhere. Even the law of one and the law of attraction says, you know, what you believe is what you think is what, and it's what you become.
And there is one belief that can help us to go beyond our belief systems. There's just one instructions that if we believe that, we are over the limits. And is that I can choose any belief that I want.
Yeah.
If you believe that,
yeah,
then you can change it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to see it though. Sometimes people have beliefs, like a lot of people have this deeply feeling that they're not worthy of money, or that they shouldn't worry about money, or they shouldn't care about money, and then they live a life of misery.
Yeah.
And because that belief that came from Christianity or from whatever the family, you know, Christianity is a big thing about guilt and Catholicism and the church. They put, you're from Spain, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's this, it becomes a feeling. You should live a life of poverty.
Yeah.
And so people don't really worry, not worry, it's not the right word. They don't pay attention. They don't feel they can have it. And when the opportunity comes, they like, maybe I'm not worthy or whatever. It's a feeling. I've experienced it myself, being Italian, growing up many times.
And you know that, Gabriel, this is not a problem. If you want to live like that, it's okay. But if you want to you know, to have more abundance in money or resources any kind, and you don't have it, it's because there is like unconsciousness running in through your mind. It's like I want, but there is something that I don't understand that make me live this kind of experiences. And whenever you go to the heart, you can, even if there is something that is affecting you and it's not conscious, and you are not conscious about this, and you can ask, and that will be revealed. So whenever you know that, because we may not know that our ancestors have done something that is like they're putting in they are like deciding one thing, and that information come to our body, and we come in this body with this information, and that's affecting us without we don't know about that.
Yeah, the DNA, the morphic field, it's transmitted. Yeah, we know that is the case.
Yeah, and when we put the intention in the heart, you know, I want to know the source of this poverty, and then what will happen is that in the external world, we will see clear the cause of the poverty. It's like you know, in the theater there is a play happening, and in our play it will come up, and you will know that's the, you know, that's the source. And whenever you are conscious about something, you can change it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, so it's like maybe to know to how where to ask, what is the place that you can have the answers, and do the proper question about your life, then you will know. But you need to want in order to have the answers. Yeah, and you know, there is something beautiful in the heart, that in the heart things are not done because of a necessity. Things happens because uh, because um, because love, because the being, because God loves you to be happy, loves you to be in peace, and that's the motivation. And whenever you go there, and you want to know, and you want to love yourself and to love the others, then you have in all the levels of the life are cooperating with you in order for you to achieve that peace and that harmony. And it's really easy when you go to the heart. It's really easy to change everything. You can have rain if connected with the earth and with the clouds, and I really feel it. And then you can ask the clouds to give you some rain if it's for the highest good.
Mm.
Um, you can ask the clouds if there is no problem for having this rain and it's not harming anyone. Please, I would love to have some rain, and it would rain even in summer with zero probability of raining. You can have a really good
Strong
rain.
shower.
Yes, strong showers. Yeah, I had it. And before you asked me about a good experiences also in my heart with this. I will tell you my, um, my, it's like there is nothing compared with this. And my daughter was about to born, and was I was in the hospital, and my wife was there. We were in the moment of having. She was also out of the
During
body.
labor. It was during labor.
Yes, labor. Yes, thank you, thank you. And in that moment, the heart of my daughter started to go slower, 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 slower.
Mm.
And it's like when you are driving a car and the car is doing like, it's about to stop.
Yeah.
It's danger of dying. And so the doctors, the doctors came running and trying to do, because she was about to go out of the body, and they couldn't do this surgery to put it out like cesarean.
Yeah.
About the-
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so they.
She was about to come out of your wife and they couldn't do any surgery.
Yes, yes, and so they decide to use the forceps, to hold the head and take it
And
out.
pull. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because it was like 20% of the heart beating. It's called in Spanish bradycardia.
Okay.
It's dangerous. So I had a dream 2 days before, 2 nights before of this, that there was some problems, and the doctors wanted to use a technology in the dream. It was not really as the forceps, but in the dreams I told them, no, you cannot use this. And then the doctor put it down and tried she tried to get something and do it without me to see it. So, but I in the dream I saw her again. I said, no, that thing you cannot use either. After the birth was perfect and there was no problem. And in the real life happened this, but I didn't talk to the doctor, to the woman. I didn't tell anything. I just went to. I tried to go to my heart, but the stress were so high. Next day I had to cry, because you see that there is something that your daughter can die, and it's not easy, to do go to the heart and go into the. So I asked my being to God, I let it on your hands, drive me to the tiny space of the heart. And I felt like there was no floor, and I was mm, falling down from my head to the heart, to the tiny space. And in the moment I arrived at the tiny space, it was like an explosion of light that came out. It's been the biggest thing I've experienced in my life. All my brain changed the waves to a very high frequency. All my body was full of energy, and that energy came out from my body to the outside to go to the heart of Brunei. And in that moment, the heart started to beat again to the normal rate. Exactly. And then I was really, really, really surprised about this. I didn't expect something like this. And After that, I told my wife what happened, because when you create from the heart, nobody knows how was it created, but the people that do it, they know. So I was like floating. I had no weight in my body. I could like walk. It was like a feeling. I don't know if it was floating, but I didn't feel the floor. And wow, I was amazed about this. I was giving thank you to Drunvalo and to the teachings and to the being for this experience.
Wow, that's incredible. So you
Yeah,
in that moment, you went into your heart, you felt this explosion of
yeah.
light. And
Suddenly,
that's the very moment when your daughter's heart
yes,
started pumping again.
because we could hear, because there was like
The beeping, the machine, yeah.
before it was like beep, 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 and suddenly beep, 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 beep again.
Wow.
And so the doctors stopped. They didn't start yet. They were about to start,
To pull, yeah.
and everyone was in silent, listening this beep, 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 beep. They checked if the machine were doing the heart of the baby and not the heart of the mother. They said, okay, you have another opportunity, they say to the mother. And in the next contraction, you have to pull her out.
Yeah.
And so when the next contraction came, yeah, the head came out. So,
They didn't pull. They didn't
no,
pull.
no, 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 it was natural. And in the next contraction, they told that the mother, the next one, you don't push too harder, because the baby will be flying away slowly, because it's already out.
I actually know a friend that, the baby was born in like 10 minutes. They literally had to catch her when she came out. That's a beautiful, beautiful story,
Yeah, it's real. What real? This is real. This heart is not like I'm going to feel love, like a feeling. Love is power, is connection, it will change your mind, it will change your body, it can heal anything. You are getting a cough, you are getting sick, you go to the heart and you told your heart, please, um, um, what is, go to the source of this illness and change it. And then that you will feel that the light that comes out from the tiny space, that light is telling you, you are this, you are this. It's like a healing of your mind. I was thinking, and I think yet at some point, that I'm this personality, that I'm this body, and the light tells me, no, 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 you are this. And the light is trying to heal me and to dissolve this veil of separation with this. And that light, when I talk to the light and tell to, to go to the source of the problem, even if I don't know, uh, the light goes out, and then as it heals the heart of my baby, will heal anything. If there is a contraction in my back, I have it all the day, and I say, okay, let's go to the heart. And it might be like 12 hours with this contraction. I go to the heart and go to the source of this problem. And then the compassion comes out, there is a feeling in your heart, and then the energy with the feeling, the energy start to work. And from this source inside of you comes out the energy. You don't have to have the energy from the forest or from, no, it comes out, it creates from nothing, comes the energy, goes to the back, and the muscles like relax, and in some minutes it's over.
Wow.
This is real.
So is there like a manual with all these programming sentences or affirmations, or a way to understand the principle behind formulating these sentences of programming?
Yes, we teach all this in the
In the
ATIH
course.
workshop.
Okay.
But of course, there is no. It's an experience. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to to first go to the heart, to the sacred space, to experience the time and space of the heart. And from that, you talk to the light. That's the thing. Talk to the light. Ask the light, if it's for the highest good, will do it. If not, it won't do it. If you want to help anyone and it's not appropriate for that person to heal, the heart won't do anything.
Right.
You will know that you are not doing anything,
Right.
because it comes from you and you can feel it. The thing is that you must be in contact with the feeling of your heart. You know, we teach in the ATIH that there is two emotional bodies, not just one. One is attached to the left side of the brain. There is another attached to the heart. One feeling, one body is for you to know what is lack. In this situation, there is a lack of respect, for example, and then you feel it as a human. You feel, you may be feeling guilty, or you may feel anything that is, the cause of the problem, but in the body, in the feeling body, emotional body of the heart, it's the solution. Like you know what is lack, and then from the heart, you are solution.
Very interesting. Very fascinating.
Yes.
I want to ask you one more question. Did you have anything else to add?
Yes, it is the key point is to know what your heart is feeling. And when you practice this heart meditation, more and more, you are more aware of the feelings that you are having at any moment in your heart. And when the heart usually feels compassion for the suffering of the others. And in the workshop, we also make understand to the mind that anything that is around you is in your consciousness. The world is not outside you, but it's in you. And you can see everything. If you see the sun, it's because the sun is in your consciousness. And the consciousness is the space where everything happens. So everything is together in the original light that you are, that is the external world. It's not really external. And when you know that the world and you are the same thing, and you understand this, the mind that is like, okay, I get it, and I get the solution. The solution is in the heart. The mind cooperates, and then you can feel really what the heart is doing, and the heart is feeling compassion for the suffering of others. In some moments, the heart is not feeling compassion. It's because that people must have that experience. But in another moments, the heart feels a lot of, it's something beautiful, compassion. And then when somebody is suffering, you don't suffer. You feel compassion, and then the energy from the heart, without you doing anything, and you even try to do anything, you start to create from the heart, and you start to connect with that people, and the heart start to solve their problems and to give them peace and harmony and everything. Many experience of that, but it's wonderful because you are an agent of the harmony, and your presence in the world makes the difference without trying to do anything, just to become that.
Okay. I want to ask you some very mundane, and I'll say with a different face. I made a smirk. Very mundane questions, because a lot of people want to know. I mean, I'm doing this course, I'm spending this money. The people that usually approach this kind of teachings and courses have already done a lot of personal development and spiritual growth. But a lot of people will want to know, okay, so I do this course. Is it for, can I use it to become richer? Can I use it for my health? Can I improve my health, my well-being? And can I find, a lover, my twin flame, or the soulmate? And so these are the three things a lot of people care about, money, health, and partnerships. So how would you say the course applies to these life challenges?
We talk about my own experience, and um, this is the best thing I've done in the world, because you go to the source of everything. You know, when you go to the tiny space of the heart, that in that space, you know that when you are dreaming, your dream happens in space, a dream space, let's say. In your external world happens in a space, but the tiny space is another space. It's different, and when you go there, there is no necessity, there is no suffering, there is even if you want to have a lover and a couple or whatever, when you go there, you don't have that feeling of I need this, and then you start to create because of of love, not for necessity.
Mm.
And in that creation, when you are there, you are not attracting a couple because you need that couple. Then it will come to you the best man or the best woman for you in order for your evolution, spiritual evolution, and for your happiness. Of course, if there is it's for your highest good, you will have everything for your highest good, all the money that you need. But you know, there is something that you won't have, is to accomplish your necessities of your ego. Let's say you won't have that from your heart. But if you think that you need money, maybe what you need is not to have the need in your mind,
Mhm.
because to have a need in your mind will create a world of need.
Mhm.
Then you don't really need money. You need to read rid of this idea of that of needing. And when you leave this idea and you know that you have everything that you need in every moment, when you know that, then you will live that. And if you need a house, there will come a house, and the most beautiful house for your heart. You know, if God will put some desires in our heart without the possibility to accomplish them, that will be kind of cruel
Mhm.
being, you know. But there are different things. You know, the needs of our mind are not the, of course, in your heart there are no needs, but you can have that. We don't need money. We need we need everything that we need for survive. We will have it. And if there is something that you really love and it's in your heart, you can have it also. If it's
How
a Ferrari, you can have it.
how about projects like with your mind, so with your rational brain, so the
Yes,
polarized brain, you realize that you want to
yes,
do a project like
yes,
filming all these guys,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Or I don't know, going to create a pyramid somewhere, and you need a lot of money and you need a lot of people there, engineers, a lot of
yes,
resources are necessary. So
yes,
I guess what you do there is ask for the money, or you put, because like
yes,
how do you apply these teachings
yes.
into something like this?
I understand. And this is very good for for companies to know this. You know, for the if the people or the directors of the companies and the CIO, they would know that they could have a lot more money and resources if when they do their job. Yeah, I had an experience. I were uh, starting to write a project, computer, and I was doing from the mind. And then my wife put the sound that it was driving me exactly the same way when my baby birth, was,
During labor.
I the labor. When she put this music, I fell down to the heart without expecting. It's just the harmony drove me to the heart, and my being told me it's not the same if you write this project in your mind that if you do it from your heart, because the people will receive it differently. It's the same words, but the information behind what is behind the words, it's different. And when you are doing anything that you are with an industrial manufacturing, or you are helping people with designing, you are an architect, or you are doing anything, if you think of the people just for the highest good, and you understand that you and what anyone that you see, it's in your consciousness and it's the same as you. It's a supposition that there is a lot another person different than you. Well, it's an experience that there is one being, because you are one being. And the thing is, there is another being. It's a supposition. It's not an experience. And when you know that anything is in you, you are doing things because of the highest good, and you know that you are doing this. For example, you are doing this oil. You are selling oil, because there is a woman that lives in Spain. The name is Teresa, and she manufactures pistachios oil. That's kind of oil, and
Essential. Yeah, essential oils. Yeah, probably.
yes, no, it's a kind of, it's like a nut.
Okay.
Extract the oil from a kind of nut, and before selling anything, he put the hands on it and bless the oil and bless the people that is going to have, and and the company is like going and growing and growing and growing and growing, and the money is coming because of what's the attitude is, let's bless everything that comes from me to the others as a, uh, you can reach a lot of people by doing what you are doing, but why not doing in the best way for helping anyone? If you are
For
doing
the benefit
something
of all. Yeah.
for the benefit of all, if you are doing something that is not profitable for anyone, maybe you have to change it. But if you are doing anything, whatever it is, in any profession, if you do it from here, you will be helping people, and the money will come to you. So it's a win-win.
Fascinating. This is really
Yes.
fascinating. I'm wondering if Drunvalo is considering creating a corporate oriented ATIH, because I've taken to the ATIH once, and I know you cannot present it to a corporate audience. They'll go like, "What the heck are we doing here?" So maybe I don't know. Do you know if he's doing something like this?
I didn't understand. You mean that we are not allowed to?
No. I'm wondering if there is a version of the ATIH for corporate audience, for people in corporations.
That's interesting, because less than 1 week ago, our guides told me, because I'm working with a woman. Her name is Natalia Lascano. We're two teachers in the workshop, and she received that we had to go to companies to teach. It's new. It's just 1 week ago, and you are actually asking me for this. And
Not
yes,
a coincidence.
no, it's not. It's because it's necessary, and
Yeah, it is.
we will be doing. And we will be speaking companies for them to do things properly, so they will earn more money. They will grow. Yes.
See, what I can see is that the content can stay the same. It just needs to be adapted to your
Yes.
audience, because right now the people that are receiving, like a CEO, will not spend 5 days
No.
and
Because
will not receive, like talking about the heart. What are you talking about? You want me to be more
Yes.
emotional? How do you, I mean, like when I'm dealing $100 million deal and selling my products, I ain't gonna think about
Yes.
anything but making as much money possible, right? and then like the somehow the way the teaching is communicated needs to meet the
Yes.
needs of the audience, I
Yes,
guess.
the way they think. If
Yeah,
we,
exactly.
yes, we will be adapting the name, of course, and we will be helping to improve the productivity, to increase the benefits, and to, because creativity improves with the heart, and efficiency also, and there is some absence because the people get sick, and there are a lot of things that would be much better if people would be happy in their
Jobs.
works,
Yeah.
and the output of that company would be much profitable for the world. And we will be doing. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking that.
My pleasure. I
Yes.
want to jump into a few more. We touched a lot of subjects that I wanted to ask you, and I'm really glad that we did. And thank you again for the experience about your daughter. I mean, this is going definitely
Yes.
viral. This
Yes.
is just gonna go
Yes.
throughout the internet. I'm telling you. And so I wanted to ask you, um, how did your through the years? So you've been teaching almost 10 years now, and so
Oh no.
how
Yes. 7. Yes.
2014? Yes, I'm sorry, I'm thinking
Yes.
2012.
Almost
Yes.
8. Yes.
Yeah. And so how through the I have two questions, but the first one is, how has your perceptions, your extrasensory perceptions, and your higher consciousness improved through the year? I mean, like you mentioned how you saw the light when your daughter was born, and how
Yeah.
you see the light when you go into your heart. What about intuition and precognition and telepathy, all of these parapsychology element of the human being that are now being studied thoroughly, like grand scientists the caliber of Dr. Sheldrake and all the other that are finally getting in line with this new, not new, but like with the science behind
Yeah.
parapsychology.
The, a lot of things happen in different. They have developed a lot of, it's like a secondary effect of the heart. When you unify the heart and the brain in the original order, you make the decisions, take the decisions from the heart, and the brain will 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 do it. The brain is useful, but the brain is not designed for take a decision, because the brain doesn't know what is the best thing. The brain is based on the past, on the memory, but the heart is not limited by the past. It's connected to all life everywhere and with the future and with all timelines. And when the brain is in the proper position, it starts to develop more capabilities. You can, I don't do it on purpose, for example, to hear the thinking of somebody, but it happens when it happens. And I can hear what someone is thinking, if it's necessary for for her or for me. I mean, it happens that I can hear the voice, like telepathic communications. Uh, I, it happens that you can you can use the technology in distance when it's necessary. When I try to do it, I want to this in the kitchen what you cook. I don't know the name, vitroceramic, vitroceramic.
Say again.
I don't know. Vitroceramic. I don't know if it's the name, but in Spanish is vitrocerámica. It's where you cook in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And you, when my baby was small, I was at home. I was helping her to sleep, and when in the morning there is a nap, during the afternoon there is another nap, and I always program this cooking so that the meal is not burned. And
Okay.
if
Right.
I'm
Right.
with
Right. Right.
with a baby,
I
you
got
know,
it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and when it's, if I put, for example, 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, there is like a beeping, beep, 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 sounding. It's like
Yeah.
1 minute beeping, strong.
Yeah.
And I was trying to sleep my baby, and then the beep, 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 said, shit, she's going to wake up.
Wake up.
And at that moment, the beep stopped. I said, wow, it's my wife at home now. It's not time for her to be here. Then I was really curious of what happened. Then when I put my baby on the, when I don't know if you have children, but when you are sleeping, the child, and you put it on the bed, it's like a ball. It's like
Yeah.
slowly. It's a little bit, and then and then there was nobody at home. I said, why this happened? Why is it not no beeping 1 minute? And this was one time. Another time, always that I was trying to sleep the baby, and this machine started to beep, it stops by itself. The second time, it just made one beep beep and stopped. And said, okay, again. And then there was nobody in the kitchen at home. And next time, the third time, I didn't hear any sound. And I said, oh, I forgot to program this. And if the rice is going to burn, run out of water and it's going to burn. And I was like, okay, leave the baby now and go running. But it was, it was off. It was off.
And the rice was cooked.
Yes, and there were no beep at all. And the fourth time it was different. There is the telephone was the fixed telephone. I don't know how to say.
Landline. The landline.
Okay, yes. Started to sound. Said, oh, the telephone, and all the electricity at home went off. And the phone, shut up. And some seconds later, I could hear the oven when the light, when the electricity comes again, and there's electricity, the
Technology starts off again.
technology start, and I could hear the tick. And that's the way I
Switch everything off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I tried to do it, okay, I need to try to do it, and no, it's not working. And my guy told me, no, you do it when it's needed. No, you cannot do it whenever you want. It's when it's needed. You do it.
Interesting. That's very
Yeah.
interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah. But the most amazing thing is
I need the lottery numbers.
No, you don't need it. You just need time and space. You will have everything. And
No.
you can, the most amazing thing is to understand the healing and the creation process and the communicating with the earth.
Right.
And to is to rid of your fears in your mind. That's what we need. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating principle behind fear, because what you think is what you become. So if you think what you're afraid of, that's what's coming to you. You're giving energy exactly to that you don't want.
Yes.
It's a fascinating process. And if you think about it, it just shows the perfection of creation. Because you think it's like the opposite of what you want. Yeah. You get, but the basic principle, which is thought creates, still is in place. So you just have to be really conscious of what you are thinking. And a lot of people in our world right now, they're just living. They're not even aware that they have a pair of feet on which to walk.
Look, that we are not far away from the solution, because usually we are behind the eyes in the brain, and the heart is here. It's just some centimeters
away.
It's very close.
It's just a breath away, literally.
Yes.
Okay, I'm loving this conversation with you. We'll have to have another session.
Yeah, of course, whenever you want.
I'm going to ask you the last question, because we've been online for an hour and a half. I'm going to ask you a quick question, and maybe in the second session I can ask you some crazy questions that we'll see how they go. So tell me a little bit about the Earth evolution and the ascension process. Drunvalo talks about it. Everyone is talking about it right now. The Earth is on a double timeline. The good guys are going one way, the bad guys are going the other way, or, you know, the Earth is splitting. I've heard every possible, you know, version of this story. And it's been going on since like the year 2000, when we thought the world was going to end, because in the Bible it was said so. And then in 2012, we almost, you know, like with the solar flash, we all SME, we almost really went off the planet. So what do you think is happening right now? What is your prediction for the future?
Okay, I cannot really add something about the ascension process more than Drunvalo share with everyone. But I have something that I understand, and my guides told me, which I like to talk about my own experience. And it's that the light is in control of everything, you know, because there is like a chaos and there is some, like there is some problems, you know, now in the world. But the things, the light is always do what have it in control. And there is no, I know that we are going to do it. As Drunvalo said, that we are going to go beyond the polarity consciousness and to go to the Christ consciousness. And there are some things to fix.
In one sentence, I'm gonna I'll open a little bracket. Duality, polarity consciousness is the idea that everything is black and white, right or wrong, blue, sorry, positive or negative. And then the Christ consciousness is the awareness. This is for people that may not be aware. And so the Christ consciousness is the first one to teach this consciousness was the Christ, and it's the idea that we are all of one awareness. We are part of the unity consciousness. Our perception becomes a unity. So there's no Enrique and Gabriel. There is Enrique and Gabriel, but they are one. They are the same.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I wanted to just clarify that.
Yes, of course. Thank you. We're about to step in that consciousness as, you know, as a humanity. But there are some people that are connected to the new breed of the Christ consciousness that is alive on the planet. And Drunvalo, you know, people, if you didn't see the video of Drunvalo, the birth of a new humanity, it's wonderful.
We'll add the link to this video down here. It's on YouTube, right?
Yes, it's on YouTube in different languages, and it's important to see that. And when you reach that consciousness, because I've been connected to the Christ consciousness for a while in the meditations, and it's not only, you know, that feeling of connections with the earth, that you love the earth and you feel one with the earth, but you feel a lot of power, It's like the power of the sky, of the sun, this, you know, all that, the wisdom, everything that you feel that. And imagine if we could be all live and thinking and living in that consciousness where there is no competition. Imagine if we could.
There wouldn't be any corruption either.
No, it's not necessary, because you have all you need. You don't need to steal. If you say, okay, I'm a company that I'm selling and manufacturing phones, iPhone or Samsung or whatever. Imagine if all of the engineers work together for the best phone, and there won't be anything but the best on the market. And different models, different uses, different machines, but always the best quality. Imagine if we would work all together for that or for everything. And there is food for anyone. We have already machines of free energy in the world. There is machines that give us anti-gravity. I've seen with my eyes spaceships come. There were a spaceship coming. I was driving a car, moving from Barcelona to by the sea. to Valencia, near the seaside. And there suddenly it was 12:30 in the night. I was alone in the highway, and there was a huge spaceship coming over my car, like 100 meters or 200, no more. All on the glass in front of me were full of the spaceship green. The shape was like round when the spaceship was fast leaving the my place going straight, just the same direction of my car, and then went up and disappeared.
Wow.
Just went up and suddenly disappeared. And I was, wow, we have this technology on Earth. At that time, I didn't know if they were human or not. I suppose that they wouldn't be human.
Yeah.
Why the military would want to come over my car?
Right.
Then I knew they were from Pleiades, and there were three people that the way they were controlling that. Then I was aware of them. But there is some pictures that maybe you want to interview her. She's originally from China, and she has a project of anti-gravity and free energy. I will give you the name.
Yeah, I would love to talk to her. Yeah, I've worked in the environment and energy sector for almost a decade, and I am well aware of, it's called unconventional technology. They call it unconventional technologies. And we're talking about plasma technology has been around for 20 years. Anti-gravity that's been around from World War II. The first one to work on it were the Germans. I mean, if you read the internet and you even on Gaia, for example, there's a lot of content out there that explains the history of anti-gravity and the new technologies. But the fascinating stuff that is really coming out is from the zero energy field, where there is no need for fuel. Fundamentally is a way of extracting energy from it. It's like transforming energy into force directly without using a fuel,
Yes, yes.
And it's a fascinating new I mean, the studies have been around forever, but the engineering has been growing and developing very quickly in the last 10 years. I know very little. I have not seen these kind of technologies, but I'm well aware, and I've seen anti-gravity. It's like I don't understand why they try to keep on blocking it still. I mean, I do industrially and economically make sense, but at this point, we're kind of ready, and the oil industry is dead anyway.
Yes, yes.
So maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe it's just a matter of.
Because we already have Drunvalo have it, and another people, and this woman already have it. They have built some prototypes. They have the anti-gravity and the energy, it gives energy all the time.
Yeah, it's constant. It's a permanent.
Yeah. But there is one thing I would like to add about it. Do you conceive that the awakening of the world may not be separated from you, from your mind, from your experience of life, from maybe whenever you go to the heart and then you start to wake up to the real wake up, maybe your world will start to change.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're saying, since there's no time, the world is already the perfect world that we want. It's just that we don't see it because we are focusing our attention on the negative stuff, right?
And this man,
Wait, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the last sentence?
Yes, there was a man in India, Nisargadatta Maharaj. He was like illuminated, and there were people going to the ashram and talk to him, and he said that the world doesn't, the world is perfect in what it is. Because people ask, how can I help the world? The world is a chaos, it's a mess. I want to help. And he was saying, no, no, the world is perfect the way it is. If your world that is like that, my world is absolutely in peace, and it's more than you helping the world, uh, um, you, is the people that see the world as you see it, that makes the world as you see it. If there were no people that are watching the world like the way you see it, the world wouldn't show. Like,
Interesting.
so it is the world that needs to be rid of these people that see the world like that. But we think that anyone uh, experience the world, one world. The world is like this, and I experience the world as it is. And the other must be experiencing the world as I see it. But I think it's not like that. I think I could be experience a world, and another could be experience a different, totally different experience of the world. And my world could be enlightenment, maybe the other's world don't.
So I agree with what you're saying, but I think there is a mixture. So it's a two-way. It's yes, we're living on the same planet, the same region, the same city, and we see the same trees and the same buildings and the same cars. But maybe the way I react or perceive the tree and breathe the air and walk on the earth is different than yours. So my world is definitely different than yours, even though we perceive the same one. It's kind of difficult to, but
You know the
but
yeah.
let's say my wife just broke up with me yesterday, and so I'm in pain and I'm suffering, and I don't perceive the world as perfect as it is. Maybe in 5 days or 10 years, I will realize that my wife wasn't good for me, and I will be happy again or whatever. It's like, um, so yes, the
You know,
it's an internal process. That's what you're trying to say.
you have one thing that is true for you, that you are a center of experience.
Yes,
You are
I agree.
always in the center. You move, and you have always 360 degrees of reality. You are always in the center. If you think that I am another center different than you, that's a supposition.
Yes, I agree.
You
You are,
experience it that you are
yeah.
a center.
And our problem is that our two centers of experience don't perceive each other's as the same.
Exactly. But there is only one. There is only one, and you are living that one. And we are all a part of you.
Yeah.
We are the same.
Yeah.
There is only one center of consciousness,
Yeah.
and you are living that. But we suppose it's like supposition that there are others with another points of view. It's like there is one plate. We are all part of you. And you are part of my plate. But I have an experience that there is one center, not two, one. So fix your center and everything will be fixed.
Right. True that. And also let's pay attention, because also there are those individuals that force their experience on other centers of experience.
Supposing you are supposing it.
Yeah, no, excellent point. But those also, let's not forget, there's some people don't realize it. People don't realize, I mean, and there's also multiple ways of forcing your perception on someone else. You can just talk and make someone believe what you say.
Yes.
Or you can, enforce a regulation, like everyone right now, it's a pandemic, so everybody stay at home, and that is forcing your perception on the rest of the centers of perception. But that's the beauty of the game, the multiplicity of layers. It's just that sometimes we all need to agree that it's time to get over with the bullshit and go on with the good stuff. And yes, I'm specifically referring to the pandemic,
Yes.
but also to the rest of the reality that we live in. I mean, we really live in a reality manipulated by 0.01% of the people on the planet. I mean, like these five guys
Yeah.
and I'm not using any adjective to describe what I think about these people. I really.
So you mean that in your reality there is a pandemic, and there are some people that are trying to control the others? If you play, that happens.
That's
As
the
you are the
reality I
center,
perceive.
yes, but as you are the center, whenever you see some part of the reality that needs to be more lovely, more consciously, then you must be the source that uh, for the place. You are like heal your reality. You are going to become your reality as the one reality of love and harmony and peace. Whenever you see some part, for example, there is a people that wants to use other people to control or whatever, then there is something lack in that part of the reality. That is, for example, they need to control because they feel like they don't have control. But at the same time, and then you become the compassive source of all that the situation makes. If someone needs feel like I'm I don't have money, then you recognize the abundance in that people, and you can bless this part of your reality with all the abundance. And you bless and bless and bless. You change by blessing and love all your reality. And then until you see it's like the Ho'oponopono of that this is about someone is suffering. That now I understand from one of before I didn't understand why is that there is no real separation between the people and you. They are all you. When someone is suffering, then you say, I'm sorry because me is watching that suffering. I'm sorry for that is in me that is watching this suffering. That is
Interesting.
because you know you're the source of everything. Then you release that to being love, righteousness, will help these people, and these people will hear if it's for the highest good. And then you are the source of you are God watching the world, and instead of thinking the world is bad, there is someone that's trying to control, you see some part of the world that needs to be fixed, you are the one that's fixing. So you are just a blessing for anything that you see, you don't complain. You are just blessing what they need. They need love. You are for love. You need respect because you are not they respect you. And that you always become thing that they need.
Interesting. I wanna give you a chance to right now. We need to come to a close. I want to give you a chance to tell us about your website, and I'll make sure it's written in the comments. And also for those of you that are online, feel free to ask any questions below here. I'll make sure that Enrique receives it, or he can actually answer in the comment sections as well. So your website, Enrique, is?
Yes, it's in Spanish. Translated, it would be like uh, travel of the heart.
No, give us
Yeah.
the full URL. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Viaje del Corazón.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. Excellent. Viajedelcorazon.com.
Viaje del Corazón, that is travel of the heart. .com. But it's in
And
Spanish. And my email is because now the website is not functioning now. We are changing. It's amor, that is love in Spanish, amor at viajedelcorazon.com.
Okay, beautiful. amor@viajedelcorazon.com. We'll
And
make
it
sure.
was something else that just a quick thing that we are going to Israel for it's an initiation trip because there are some ceremonies that must be done there in order to anchor the Christ consciousness. And that trip will be this year. We don't have dates yet, but maybe at the beginning of the summer or maybe at the end of the summer. We're going to Israel. Some ceremonies.
Where will you be going?
Israel.
Israel. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. And you're going with Dana?
I don't know if Dana is coming. She invited folks she want to come. Yeah, she might be coming.
Okay, cool.
Love it.
Nice. So all of these events are on your website, right? And people can have a look and sign up
Yeah.
in the near
They
future.
will be. They will be because now this time of February it's not working yet.
But you're planning it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Enrique, it was a super pleasure talking to you, and I'm really, really glad we had a chance. And you guys, see you in the next interview. Click the smash like button and sign up to our channel, and see you in the next interview. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye bye.